Today I'm going to teach you how to start an AI lead generation agency from scratch. This is a full A to Z, step-by-step guide. By the end of this video, you'll have everything you need to lay your agency foundations, sign up your first client, and deliver this brand new service to them, which is soon to be the most in-demand service in the world. In fact, by the time some of you watch this, it already will be. It is essential that business owners adopt this if they don't want to get completely crushed by their competition who adopt AI quicker than they do. And this is your chance to take advantage of that situation, to finally start a business that offers a service that's in demand and that has the power to completely change the lives of every client that you work with. In fact, this is going to completely revolutionize entire industries. I've been in this space for 8 years. I've seen so many agency models come and go, but I have never seen anything quite like this. And I'm so excited to share it with you. Now, you might be wondering, why am I sharing this with the world? Why not just keep it back for myself? Why share it with hundreds of thousands of people? And the truth is, it's always been my mission to give more away for free than other people would have you pay for. I know what it was like when I was 18 years old, desperately seeking for opportunity and not having anyone around me able to show me the vehicle and the path to succeed. That is why I'm recording this. And honestly, 99% of people that watch this won't do anything with it. People love to absorb information, but they hate to actually put in the work it takes to be successful. Don't let that be you. You might be in a 9 to 5 or in a position that you want to get out of. And I know how that feels. I've been there myself 8 years ago. And I can remember it like it was yesterday. I was sat in the office looking around me thinking, I deserve so much more from my life. And that evening, a video just like this was the catalyst to change and my success. But only because I made the commitment to myself to actually implement everything that I learned, to take action on it. And this today is your opportunity to make that same commitment to yourself, to get rid of all your distractions right now, to close all your tabs, to go make a coffee, to get a notepad and to lock in for 1 hour and make a game plan for your success. And maybe you've already got started, maybe you've already got an agency, you've been watching me for a long time. You might feel like you're in a saturated market. You might feel like you're offering the same thing as everyone else and you're struggling to scale. This today is your opportunity to differentiate from 99% of other agency owners who are not yet implementing this. But again, only if you action. So make that commitment to yourself. It is action that allowed me to quit my job in 2 weeks. It is action that allowed me to hit 10K a month in just 3 months. It's action that's allowed me to make multiple millions online and help thousands of other people just like you launch and scale agencies of their own. Let's get into it. Before we do, I want to announce a competition. Comment down below, like this video, and subscribe, turn your notification bell on so you get notified when we bring out new videos. I want to know your why. What motivated you to click this? Why do you want to start an agency and why do you want to be successful? I'd like to get to know each and every person. I'd like to take your success personally. Let me know, give me as much detail as possible, and 1 in every 100 people will win a completely free coaching call with a multi-7-figure agency owner who will help you build a roadmap to your success. That'll be completely free, 1 in 100 people. So comment down below and take part of that. And let's get stuck into it. So, first of all, what is AI lead generation? Well, AI lead generation, let's go on to the next slide, go on. AI lead generation it's a service-based business, first and foremost. Okay, now typically we offer paid advertising on various different platforms. I'm going to come on to those later on in the video. We then offer appointment setting, which is the act of not just generating leads, but converting those leads into appointments. And then we now implement AI automation to make that process easier, quicker, more streamlined, and various other systems that we can implement to improve the business from a holistic standpoint. Again, we're going to come on to service later on in the video. I just want to give you an overview. Now, we get paid every single month to do this, between $1,000 and $10,000 plus in some cases. In fact, I've had clients pay me up to $50,000 for an agency service. Okay, now you can do exactly the same once you gain experience. That's not typical for a beginner. When you're first starting off, you're probably going to be charging around $1,000. You might even get a client over the line on a free trial because a case study, as in a testimonial, is worth more than money in the early stages. But this is value-based pricing. We're not charging based on the amount of time that we're spending like you would if you're sat in a 9 to 5 right now. You're getting paid an hourly rate. As a business owner and as an agency owner, we get paid based on the value that we bring to the clients that we work with, because ultimately we are making them more money and we're saving them more time. And what we're looking for is lifetime value, otherwise known as LTV. Not only are we signing up a client once and getting paid $1,000, for instance, but that client might work with us for 6 to 12 months and even more in some cases. Right now in my agency, Affluent.co, we've had clients that have stayed with us for quite literally years because we've generated such great results for them over time. Now I want to go through some frequently asked questions. I've recorded how to start agency videos many times over the past 8 years, and we've racked up quite literally millions upon millions of views. We'll see if I can throw up some of those videos. And these are the most common questions we get when we post a video like this. First of all, what do I need to get started? You need the commitment to yourself to take action. That is the main thing that you need. You also are going to need a laptop. Okay, you're going to need a computer in order to be able to fulfill this service. If you don't have one, you're going to have to go and get one. You won't be able to use your phone or a tablet and so on. Can you do this in my country? Can I do this in my country? Sorry. Yes, you can. You can do this from anywhere in the world. You just have to consider that if you are in a developing country, you are going to be signing up clients on a smaller retainer, so there's a smaller monthly fee than somebody else who is based in a more developed country. In the future, you can certainly branch out and reach out to those more developed countries and sign up clients overseas. You absolutely can, but it will be more difficult for you in the early stages. You want to get case studies and proof, first of all, before you do that. What if I don't have much time? Well, I started my agency when I was in a 9-to-5 job. I woke up very early in the mornings, started studying. I also then used my lunch break and my evenings. I've worked with thousands of people that have been in 9-to-5 jobs or studying full-time in university. In fact, it reminds me of Ollie Hudson and Joe Marston, 2 guys started in university, full-time study. They now make over $750K a month in their agencies. Crazy. That is not typical whatsoever, but that's an example of 2 people that have literally started from university. There's interviews on YouTube. We'll put a link in the description. If you just search, you'll be able to find it. Do I need existing experience? No, you don't need any experience whatsoever. Of course, you are going to need to be able to speak to people, so generally speaking, conversation skills will help, but what I'm going to teach you today are the foundational skills that you need to actually start an agency. An agency is a conversational business. We're talking to other people and offering solutions to them that they fundamentally need. It is not precious sales or hard sales, because we are selling something that they need in order to help their business grow, especially when we start offering AI lead generation, which is like making people hysterical right now. So, what are the 3 key stages of success? These are the 3 things that we're going to be going through in today's video. Number 1, we have finding clients. So who, what, where, and some prospecting. Okay, so who are we going for? What do they actually do? And where can I find them? And then prospecting, which is also kind of otherwise known as lead generation. So this is the act of finding potential clients. I'm going to be drawing some stuff out today on the iPad for you guys too. So we can really drill in these points and so you can get a deep understanding of it. Number 2 is actually signing up these clients. Okay, so how can we book meetings? First of all, these are sales meetings. How can we sell our service? And how can we actually get a yes? So I'm going to teach you the exact meeting strategy that you're going to use to sign up clients. And then finally, number 3, getting results. So what tools are we going to use to get results for AI lead gen? What is a strategy build looking like? And how can we actually scale up these results for our clients? So how did we get to this point where we're now offering AI lead generation? Well, when I first started, the most in-demand service was SMMA, a social media marketing agency. We used to run organic social media management. So we would manage someone's Facebook or Instagram page. By someone, I mean a local business. And we would post images and videos on their behalf and hope that it would generate them more sales. Sometimes we'd also run very low-cost ads, again, to try and boost that company's sales. And this is the model that got me from 0 to 10K and 10K and beyond. But the issue with this service was the organic side of things was very time consuming. It was a very low cost service, of something that we could charge very little for, but it took a lot of time and generally quite hard to track results. And so what happened was myself and other agency owners evolved into lead generation agencies, where we got rid of the organic side and we just started running paid ads to generate leads on behalf of clients. This would give us a nice big list, and a lead, by the way, is a potentially interested customer on behalf of the client. Okay, so for a dentist, we might generate a list of people that are interested in teeth whitening. We then get a big Google Sheet or an Excel document in some cases. We send that over to the client. They then contact all of those leads. They call them up and they see who they can book in. The problem is most business owners aren't that great at sales. And so the business owner would blame the agency that the lead quality wasn't great or they were unqualified. And agency owners were looking for solutions. And so what they started doing in 2022 was appointment setting. Okay, so what they would start doing is calling up the list of leads on behalf of the client and actually booking them straight in with the calendar. So if we get a list of leads for, let's say, teeth whitening, we call up and say, hey, John, it's Jordan calling from John's dentist. I noticed you opted in for our Facebook ad for some teeth whitening. I just wanted to get you booked in. Are you free over the next few days? Yes, great. And then we book them into the calendar. So now the client can no longer complain about the lead quality because we were controlling that process. But what happened? You can imagine. It's pretty time consuming contacting every single lead on behalf of the client, especially if you're working with 5, 10, 15 clients. It starts stacking up. And so, as we do as business owners, we look for a solution. And it was only when AI and the technology that we've seen over the past 2 years is increasing, it's just been absolutely crazy, that we have now been able to automate most of this process. We can automate lots of the appointment setting process, saving hours upon hours every single week in our agency. And not only are we saving time, but we're also increasing the results we generate for our clients because AI is able to respond more personalized and quicker than any human possibly can. So we save time and we increase the results we generate for our clients. It is a complete win-win. I'm going to show you some of the tools that we can use for this. And this truly is, I believe, like the bottom line of market sophistication. Like if SMMA was the birth of like online agencies, AI lead generation is like, we're not even like, we have so much growth ahead of us. What we're going to see over the next few years is just going to be absolutely insane. Do you know the AI market has an expected annual growth rate of 38.1% between 2024 and 2030. So that is almost 50% growth every single year for the next 6 years predicted. Okay, probably more than that. That is unprecedented growth. That is insane. I don't think we can comprehend where this industry is going to go. So if you're getting in now, or even if you're getting in a year from now, you're watching this video in a year after it was uploaded, you are still early in this industry. I can't understate that. Because every year from now until 2030, 40% increase. Wild. So let's get into it. How do we sign up? How do we find clients first of all? Okay, who are we actually going to go for? Who, what, and where? Well, first of all, we want to make sure that we're going for clients that are high demand by a large market. Okay, so I mentioned dentists. Dentists are high demand by a large market because everybody's got teeth. Everybody needs work on their teeth, and many people are conscious of the way they look. So dentists. We have something like gyms as another example there. Everybody should want to work out to stay healthy. So it's when we're considering a niche, okay, lots of people throw the term niche or industry around. A niche is just an industry. It's just like gyms, dentists, and so on. It's just a business market. Consider whether or not they are in high demand by a large amount of people, because that'll make it easier for us to hit those people or target them when it comes to delivering a service. We also want to go for businesses with repeat custom. Remember I mentioned lifetime value? Well, repeat custom is lifetime value. We don't want someone that's just going to come and work with us once. We want someone that's going to come back again and again to our clients, because then what starts to happen is our clients' results start to snowball. We get 10 clients in January, we get 20 in February, we get 30 in March. They start stacking up over the months, and so the longer we're with the client, the happier they are because they're getting increased lifetime value. Now, the easiest place to start is local. I cannot stress this enough. When I first started local, most of the agency owners I teach start local. Local is leverage, okay? And when we're first starting out, we don't really have any leverage. We don't really have a reason for people to work with us apart from our locality. People buy from people, okay? Yes, your service is going to prick their ears up, especially with AI lead gen. People are going to be like, what is that? I want that. I've heard of AI. I need it. But even more so, if you're speaking to someone who is local to you and you can resonate with them on that note, it's going to be so much easier to get your feet off the ground, to start off local. And I know finally I recommend a scattergun strategy instead of a sniper strategy. What do I mean by this? Lots of people in this space throw around, you should niche down, you need to niche down in your agency. That is advice that applies to people that have already got a successful agency and already have some data. For the majority of people that are starting off, and all of you guys, okay, you need to be going scattergun. What is a scattergun? Imagine a gun that you shoot and it just fires and sprays bullets absolutely everywhere. In a room full of people, you're going to kill a few people, right? As opposed to a sniper where you just go and you're just picking people out. In the early stages, when we're first starting a business, okay, and when I say first starting a business, this applies to you if you're pre-10K a month revenue. You might already be at 8K. I'm sorry to say it. You're pretty much a beginner, okay? That's what you are. And that's great because it means you've got so much opportunity ahead of you. But opportunity is very scarce, We're desperately trying to find it. We have to look around in all the nooks and cranny. And so what we don't want to do is turn away lots of different people by pigeonholing ourselves and only working with one niche. And so by going scattergun, we open ourselves up to every single niche. We'll work with anyone and everyone that fits the first three criteria. Okay? Are they in high demand? Is there repeat custom? Are they local? Yes, then we're going to work with them. And then what we're going to do over time is we're going to find out who we actually enjoy working with, who's benefiting from the service the most. Because the truth is, what works for you is going to be very different to what works for someone else. It's going to be based on your location, it's going to be based on your unfair advantages, it's going to be based on your knowledge of the industry, it's going to be based on a number of different circumstances. So go scattergun, and then when you've got data down the line, pick your sniper out, and then you just start focusing on one niche. The goal is always to niche down later down the line, but initially, go for anyone and everyone. Because later down the line, opportunity is abundant, and actually the real challenge is learning who to say no to. Okay, prospecting or lead generation. What are we going to do? Well, we need to build a list of decision makers. Okay, the decision maker is always going to be the business owner in the early stages. If you're an established agency owner, it can be like a marketing director or someone on the C level. But in the early stages, you're going to be going for business owners. You want to find the name, the email address, and the phone number. Okay. And we can also utilize our existing network. Don't sleep on this. Your friends and your family might already know business owners around you. Don't be afraid to reach out. I've known so many people that have got their foot in the door, that have signed up their first client just by posting on their Facebook saying, hey, I'm starting a marketing agency. This is the service that I'm offering. How many of you guys know business owners in my local network? I would love to work with them. I would love to speak to them. Okay? So utilize your local network to get that foot off the ground. And then if we do want to generate a big list of leads, which we're going to have to, we can use Google manually. Go over to Google. I've got some lead generation videos on my channel, so go and check them out. I'll put some links in the description so you can go and watch them. Go manually scrape on on Google. And then you can also use scraping software like clay.com, which will allow us to literally scrape information off various websites, and then we will then put that information on a lead list. Okay. Finally, we can also use lead databases, software like Apollo, for example. These are big lists of existing leads, generally larger companies on a lead database. So my general recommendation for beginners is start off with Google or a scraping software. But again, go and watch that lead generation video. Great. So I've got a big list of leads. These are our potential customers. We're going to go, and these are all our local businesses that we can reach out to that are going to be worthy of this service. Okay, and anybody is worthy of an AI lead gen service. If you need more clients, you need AI lead gen, and if you don't implement it, I don't think people understand yet that there is going to be a complete bloodbath in all business with this AI, because if you're a dentist that's been around for 20 years and there's like another dentist that's been around for like 1 year, but they're adopting all of these AI lead generation strategies to get new clients in, you're not going to be able to keep up with their level of marketing at all. So your 20 years of legacy and experience, the imbalance is completely screwed. Yeah, side note, business owners need this. And that's what makes it so exciting as an entrepreneur, because we're offering something that genuinely is going to change people's lives, and that's just incredible. So what are the best contact methods? We've got that list of leads. How are we actually going to get hold of them? Well, we want to use a multi-platform strategy. Okay, so we're going to hit these people from all angles. If you imagine you've got 5 friends that you wanted to contact, you probably wouldn't contact them all in the same place. You probably wouldn't send them all a WhatsApp. You might call one of them, you might SMS one, you might WhatsApp one, you might even Instagram message another one, because you know each of them have their own quirks, they all respond in different ways. Well, it's exactly the same with your leads. If you just email absolutely everyone, then what you're doing is you're pigeonholing your opportunity. You're not giving yourself the full chance to reach everyone where they actually are. And so we have to send emails, we can cold call, we can send DMs, direct messages on social media, we can even go door to door. Okay, so these are the main strategies that I recommend. And if you want to know what is going to work the best, I mean, you're not going to like it, the best is door to door, and then cold calling, and then probably DMs if done properly, and then email. Okay, and it's actually in which, like with everything in life, is the order of which is the easiest, okay, or the hardest, I suppose. Door to door is the hardest, the most intimidating, the most time consuming outreach acquisition channel, whatever you want to call it, but it is the most effective. I've gone door to door for over a year in a previous sales job. It was the only sales client acquisition strategy that we used in this. It was a software company reaching out to real estate agents. You can imagine me, a 21-year-old guy, walking into a real estate agent with 20 salespeople looking at you, absolutely grilling you. That taught me a lot of grit, okay? It taught me a lot of resilience. And I've taught many other agency owners about door-to-door as well, and they've got incredible results for it. I've got a student, Gonzalo, lives in Spain. He signed up his first 6 clients going door-to-door, and he did this in under 2 months. Insane. But he did that through plucking up the courage for himself. If you want to do it, you should. And if you want some frameworks for that, maybe I can talk about it in a future video. Let me know down below. I don't want to get too sidetracked. Cold calling next, of course, is intimidating. You're going to be told no way more times than you're going to be told yes. That's probably the fundamental rule of sales. You have to understand that most people are going to say no to you, and that is absolutely okay. Every single no you get is an opportunity to learn and grow and develop. I remember in my first sales job, I would walk to the end of the office and I would shake in fear. I was in £5,000 worth of debt, but I knew the only way I could get myself out of that debt is if I got good at sales, if I figured this shit out. And so over time, actually within the first 4 months, I ended up being in the top 3 performers of that company, paid off all of my debt, and it completely changed my life. But I was literally terrified of cold calling when I first started. And I know some of you watching this right now are going to think, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to put myself through that. Well, reality check, business is hard. And to have anything in life that is worth having, it is difficult. There is no shortcut. If you want to sit behind a computer and just send emails and DMs all day, like, you're going to have to wait 2, if not 3 times longer to get the same result as anyone else who's prepared to do these other things. Okay, business is all about challenge, and in that challenge, in that struggle, is where all of your growth is. You have to crave growth. You have to crave challenge if you want to succeed in business. You have to do what others can't so you can have what others can't. Okay, so yeah. I talk about this a lot on the channel. We'll put some videos, I'll put some links in the descriptions for other videos you can watch. If you've got any requests, put some comments down below and I can talk about this more in the future. I've even got live cold calling videos on my YouTube channel, so if it's the first time you're watching my channel, go and check those out. Yeah, I was actually in Cape Town, where I am right now. Side note, I'll see if I can show you the view I'm looking at right now. Absolutely beautiful. But I was in Cape Town last time I recorded a live cold calling video. I come here for 6 months of the year. And so, yeah, I was only there for 3 months. Semantics. Let's get into it. Setting the meeting. So, first of all, you want to always speak to the decision maker. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're speaking to the decision maker, whether we're cold calling, door to door, DMs, whatever it is. Always speak to the decision maker. We don't want to waste our time pitching a receptionist, for example. And when we get through to them, we want to get straight to the point. We don't want to waste their time. We're not doing any niceties. We're not like saying, oh, my name is Jordan, I'm calling from X and AI. This is what I do. No, we're going straight in for the kill, and we're going to simply ask them, or use what I call an attention hook. Okay, so we're going to say something along the lines of, hey, John, can you handle 5 more clients right now? Well, hey, John, I know you're busy, so I'm going to be quick. It's a diffuse. Again, watch a cold calling video. I just wondered if you're taking on more Invisalign clients at the minute. Straight in for the kill, pique some interest. And then we have scarcity. Now, scarcity is the act of controlling the perception of limited supply of something, or limited amount of time to actually act upon it. And the main way that agency owners can do this, and it wants to be genuine scarcity, the main way that agency owners can do this is by stating that they only work with one of a certain business in a certain area. So we only take on one dentist. We're looking for one dentist in this area, and we'd love that to be you. Okay, so we're making it very clear that we have exclusivity. That's going to make the business owner much more likely to want to work with us, because they're not going to want that to be a competitor. We could even say, look, we're only looking to take on one partner in this area. I am in conversations with one of your competitors, but you would be my preference. And that creates genuine desire. And then the golden rule is never pitch before a meeting. Okay, we never want to pitch before the meeting. Even if someone says, okay, like, tell me all about it now. Yes, we can state an elevator pitch. Okay, so it's a simple statement that says what we do. Okay, so I work with this industry and this is what I do for them. Okay, so I work with dentists and we help them implement AI sales systems to get up to 10 new appointments per month. That's what we might say, for example. We leave it at that then. We then don't go into a whole bunch more information. If they start asking questions, you can say, that's a really great question. I don't actually have the time to go through it right now, but I would love to book in a meeting with you. Are you free tomorrow at 10 a.m.? and then we get that meeting booked. Okay, so the act of outreach is to secure a meeting in which we're then going to go through the sales process. We're going to be going through the meeting strategy that I'm going to show you in a moment. We never want to get roped in to selling in the outreach process because, I mean, number one, we're not going to have maximum leverage, okay? So we're not going to be able to utilize the way we look, okay, and our body language because we're not on a video call. And we're also just not going to be prepared. You want to prepare before a meeting. You want to get a good understanding. You want to do your homework on the person you're speaking with. You want to make sure you make them feel like an individual and not just a number. And to do that, we need to put in time to prepare. So don't get roped into pitching before the meeting. And if we implement all of this, we're going to be able to get our first meeting. But what we have to remember is outreach and securing meetings is a numbers game. We're going to get told no many more times than we're going to be told yes. But the key is we have to be consistent every single day and reach out to a number of people. You set a target, that might be 20 new companies a day, it might be 10 new companies a day if that's all you've got time for. Set that target and stick to it every single day. Some days you'll get no meetings, some days you'll get multiple meetings, but the key is sticking to it every single day. So, when we do get a meeting, how are we going to do that? Well, I mentioned we can do a Zoom call, so a video call. But the best is going to be in person. If we do have the ability to go and meet a client in person, then we absolutely should. Because we don't just then have the way that we look as far as our energy and body language is concerned on video, but we then have our energy, our in-person presence. Okay? Have you ever met someone in person that previously you'd only ever met online? You build such a deeper connection way quicker. And we build so much more trust with that individual because they're there sat in front of us. It is the same with our potential clients. So if you have the ability to do so, if they're not a million miles away, go and meet them in person. All of my first meetings were in person. Okay. I want to run through right now what is called the CPS strategy. This is the meeting strategy that you're going to use when you are then sat in front of that business owner, regardless of whether it's a video call or whether you're in person. CPS stands for conversational problem solving. This is a meeting strategy that I've developed over years and through thousands of agency calls and helping other people do the same and just listening to so many calls and adapting this. And it's a simple 4-part meeting strategy. CPS stands for conversational problem solving. Okay? Because all we are doing when we are speaking to a potential client for an agency is having a conversation in the hopes or the goal to solve their problems. Okay? And so this is what this looks like. Let me just get this iPad recording, and it starts off with attention. So we want to claim attention at the start of the meeting. We're going to jump on that meeting, and we're going to start off with a little bit of small talk. We want to let that person know or feel that they're not a number. So we're going to say something to them that maybe throws them off guard or just shows them that we have done our research. Maybe we mention a recent holiday that they went on and we saw that on their social media. Maybe we notice a hobby that they've got in common with us. Or maybe we mention something in their background or about their location that they're in. Try and make it as personal as possible and try and make it something that you wouldn't just be able to think about on the spot and something that shows that you've done your research on them before you jumped on the call. What we're trying to do is straight away set the tone that they are not just a number, that we're not speaking to loads of people today, that we genuinely care about them. We can then have a little bit of small talk surrounding that topic, and then we're going to make a statement that frames the meeting, that lets them know exactly how it's going to go. And this is otherwise known as controlling the frame. Because in a meeting there are 2 people, and somebody has to be in control of that meeting. That person has to be you, and we have to do this in a very subtle way. So we might break our small talk and say something along the lines of, so John, thank you for jumping on the meeting today. The way this is going to go is I'm going to start off by asking you some questions. I want to learn a little bit more about your business and your current position and maybe what you're currently doing when it comes to lead generation. And then if we identify an opportunity for growth and how we can help you, then at the end of the call I may make you an offer on how you can work with us. Sound good? Okay, so you can rephrase that in whatever way you want, but we just want to state that we're going to ask them questions, we want to learn about them, and then only if we identify opportunity will we then make them an offer at the end of the call. They say, yes, okay, sounds good. Say, great. So I know I reached out to you, I know I called you on Tuesday and offered you the meeting, but you said yes for a reason. Why was that? So now what we're doing is a little bit of reverse psychology. We're putting the ball into their court and making them think about what motivated them to have the meeting with us. And this usually opens up the conversation. And that leads us onto the next stage, which is identify. So we are going to identify the client's current situation. By asking this framing question, the client is going to talk about, or the potential client, the prospect, is going to be talking about all of the issues that they currently face. And they might say, oh, we've got a lead generation problem. And so what we're trying to identify, first of all, is their current situation, and then we want to identify their desired situation, and then we want to identify their need for help. So we start off with current situation. And the biggest weapon that we've got in this identify stage is active listening. We're going to listen to the problems that they're stating to us. We're going to listen to their current situation, and we're going to practice active listening. We're going to nod, okay. And then we're going to ask intelligent questions in response. So if they say to us, we've got a lead generation problem, tell me more about that. What are you currently doing? Well, that's annoying. What's the cost of that continuing to happen? Okay, there are many things that we could say. Think about when you're talking to a friend. When you're talking to a friend, if they were just asking you questions and you were answering, and every time they were just skipping over the topic and then going on to the next thing, you'd not feel like they were very interested or engaged in what you have to say. It's the same with your prospects. What we're actually trying to do with the identification stage is let the prospect know that we, or make them believe, that we are the correct person to help them solve their problems. And the only way we can do that is if we show them that we genuinely care about the problems they're facing. And it's in your best interest. You want to get a deep understanding of their current position, so you know that they're actually suitable for your service. And you then have weapons that you can use, is what we're doing, we're gathering ammunition that you can use later on in the meeting. So we listen intently, we write down things that they say that stand out, and we ask them intelligent questions in response. And in their current position, we want to understand things like what sells well, what doesn't sell well, what days they're busy, what days they're not so busy, what are their best services, okay? What is their current revenue level? That's really important. We want to understand where they're at from a financial perspective. We want to just simply ask them, so how much money are you making at the month? How much money are you making at the moment? What's your monthly average revenue? Okay? If you feel scared or uncomfortable to ask that, then we can flip the switch. We could say, okay, so if you were to solve all of these problems, how much money would you be making in the business? Have you set any revenue goals? Most business owners are far more receiving of a goal-based questions than they are existing revenue, although I've never really had any issues on existing revenue. So we ask them about their goals. Oh, I want to make 100k a month. Amazing. So how close are you to that right now? I'm at 40k. So we've asked them about their goals. Now, in contrast, we ask them about where they are right now. And so we kind of flip the switch on current situation. So we know their current situation. They're at 40k a month, let's say hypothetically. We're talking about a dentist. We've asked them what's their goal. They want to make 100k a month. So now we've got an idea of their desired situation. Okay? And then we want to dig even deeper. So what does that mean? Why 100k? Oh, I want to do it for this reason, I want to do that. How would that impact the business? Would you open a new location? And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to ignite the fire in their belly. That entrepreneurial spirit that allowed them to start a business in the first place. Because the truth is, many business owners just get stuck in the weeds. They get stuck in stagnation, they struggle to scale, but they all started because they had big dreams. Big dreams not only for business, but for their own personal life. We want to try and ignite that. The more we can ignite that in desired situation, the better. Because what we are doing is we are identifying pain. And that pain is something we want to dig, and we want to sit in, and we want to get comfortable sitting in. And when you start genuinely caring about your clients, that'll get easier and easier. It'll start being a little bit uncomfortable in the early stages, I won't lie, but it'll get easier and easier when you just really start genuinely caring about these people. Which you should anyway, okay? But the truth is, you're going to be thinking about signing them up and making money. That just kind of is a given. And over time, that won't matter to you. So now we've got an understanding of their current situation and their desired situation. Now we need to identify their need for help. So we're going to summarize. We're going to say, so John, you're currently making 40k a month. You want to make 100k. You are struggling with getting more leads in for Invisalign. You've worked with an agency before and it didn't work for 1, 2, 3 reasons. I understand that's very frustrating for you. What's stopping you from solving this by yourself? That question is very crucial. What is stopping you from solving this by yourself? Or what is stopping you from solving this on your own or doing it on your own? And this makes them think about why they can't achieve that. And we won't just stay there. We will then dig the pain. We'll say, okay, and what is the cost for staying where you are right now? And what we want is an admission of them knowing that they can't do it by themselves, and then we create urgency on having a solution. And that is very, very, very key. Many people skip that. We have to get their need for help. And at this point, we do it properly. We are then going to have the client knowing and having the desire to work with us. They just need to understand the service more. So then we can move on to the next stage, which is solve. So we're going to present our solution. And by present, I don't mean we're going to run through a deck, okay, or a presentation. That is something that's really reserved for experienced agencies down the line when we've got that sniper strategy and it's very bespoke. We're simply going to speak to them. We're going to make a statement, which is called an elevator pitch, a simple statement which explains what we do and who we do it for. But the key is it has to be beautifully vague. It has to create intrigue. We might say, yeah, I mean, I completely understand where you're at right now. I truly believe that we can help you solve these problems. I help dentists implement AI sales systems, and typically they generate between 20 and 30 new leads per month. Stay dead. That's an example. Say what you want, build us out yourself. If you work with us directly, we can help you build out that entire statement. Stay dead. So we haven't really told them exactly what it is. We haven't said Facebook ads. We haven't said Instagram. We haven't mentioned appointment setting. We said it's an AI sales system and we'll work with dentists and we can get them between 20 and 30 a month. New leads. And we're thinking, I want to know more about this. And what is then going to happen over the next 5 or maybe even 10 minutes is they're going to ask you questions about that service. And you're simply going to answer them. And you're going to answer those questions and make sure they are answered thoroughly, but do not be tempted to then go ahead and blurt out all these other details. This is the key. Many agency owners or many salespeople in general have it in their arsenal to just list out all of the different features of their service because they're proud of them personally. The key is you want the client to sell themselves on the service by just asking you a small amount of questions that are relevant to their specific desires. And you give them those answers. And if they want to know more, they will ask for more. And you give them that answer, and then you stay dead. And you let them think about it. Until the only question they have left is how much does it cost? And that's the key. We want to get the client asking us, how much does it cost? Because then we can go in with the close. It's not the end of the world if you have to prompt the price, but if the client asks you for the price, it's a very heavy indicator that they are interested in what you have to offer. And that is why it's important that we allow the client to be talking the most throughout the meeting and them asking us questions. So identify is us asking them questions. Solve is about the client asking us questions. And then when we get to the close, we simply state, great, so the cost for our AI lead generation service is $1,000 per month. And then we stay dead. We don't say anything. There's a term in sales that the first person to speak after the price is stated is the person that loses. What happens if you talk after you've stated the price is you lose all the trust that you gained throughout the meeting. So the key is we have to make sure that we stay dead after we state the price, and we allow the prospect to either say yes or give us an objection. And if we get an objection, that's absolutely fine. Objections are not a rejection, they are just a request for more information. Probably an indicator that we did something wrong earlier on in the meeting. That's absolutely fine. I have closed countless meetings over the years when I've had objections. In fact, I would go as far to say that over 50% of meetings that you will close in your agency, you will have some kind of objection before you get to that final eventual yes. And the key with objections is we want to affirm to the prospect that we understand. Okay, so I understand that you don't have the time right now, or you think you don't have the time, but you don't need to spend any more time. We're going to manage this whole thing for you. We're going to appointment set. All you have to do is continue doing what you already do. And that's turning up to meetings and giving people teeth whitening. Okay? I understand that you want to speak to your wife, but what is it you want to speak to your wife about? Oh, I need to understand blah, blah, blah. Okay. So is there anything that your wife could say that would change your mind on this? Because you're in, right? Yeah, I'm in. But she could say this. And what then happens usually, just as a side note with, I want to speak to my wife or I want to speak to my business partner objection, is they will then give you the objection that they want to give, but they don't have the confidence to give. Mainly when someone says, I need to speak to my partner, it means I'm not really interested, or I want to think about this. And so if we prize that out of them by diffusing it and not putting it on them, and we say, what is it your partner could say that would change your mind, then they're much more susceptible to giving us the truth. So we go through the objections. Hopefully we get a yes. We get a yes. We simply book in an onboarding call. An onboarding call is where we are then going to go through the initial stages of getting started working with the client. We're going to get access to all the materials we need to gain access to. We might talk through strategy. We're going to book that in for a maximum 3 days in advance. Yeah, 3 days max, 5 upper limit, but we want to do it as soon as possible to get the client secured, and then we're going to send over an agreement with a payment link, and we're going to get that payment secured. If you can get a payment secured on the call, fantastic. Sometimes it doesn't work like that. That's absolutely fine. We can send it over. I also recommend sending them a WhatsApp message and getting their mobile number. If you get the mobile number, then yeah, you're going to be much more likely to stay in closer contact with the client, and yeah, it's always going to be much easier. Great, so we get the client signed, we get them over the line. Truth be told, you're probably going to be closing 1 in 4 clients in the early stages, 1 in 4 meetings. Okay, so you're not going to be signing every single one. I'm never going to butter this up for you or give you unrealistic expectations. That's okay, that is just sales. If you're closing at around 25%, so you're getting 25% yeses to nos, then you're doing a pretty good job. Okay, if you're a little bit below that, that's fine. You might need some help from someone like me or someone in our community who can listen to your calls and give you some feedback. Many people go from low close rates to very high close rates. All it is just repetition of getting on as many calls as possible over a period of time. So that is the CPS strategy. That's how we get clients over the line. We have attention, identify, solve, and close. Use this wisely, and you'll be deadly. So we've got a client over the line. What are we going to do now? We're going to get them some results, right? We need to actually live up to what we've said, live up to what we've sold. We need to fill those boots, okay? Truth be told, you might do a little bit of blagging in the early stages. You're probably going to have a lot of imposter syndrome. That is completely normal. I know I did. I didn't even know how to run a Facebook ad when I signed up my first client. Now, do I recommend that to you? No. You can learn this stuff first and foremost. You don't want to be going burning clients, okay? You do want to have a good understanding. I'm kind of joking now, but on a serious note, you do want to have a good understanding of the service, because you don't want to be like killing reputation before you got started, tainting the industry. So please do make sure you do your research. It was a very different industry when I first started. But yeah, there's still going to be some imposter syndrome. You're going to be thinking, am I really this guy or girl? Can I really do this? And the answer is yes, you can do anything you put your mind to. And you need to, because you should have signed a client. So you better fill those boots. That's how we're going to get results. Okay, so we're going to be going through the AI lead gen funnel process. So this is an overview of the entire service. I'm going to show you the best tools that you can use to implement this service. We go through understanding the value ladder. Okay, so some foundational marketing understanding here. How are we going to push people through this value ladder on behalf of our clients and have them making lots of money? And then finally, what are the trends to look out for in 2024? As I've said, this industry is going to change incredibly quickly, so I'm going to give you some things to look out for, or I'll be talking about them on this channel in the future as well. So, what does the AI lead generation funnel look like? Okay, a funnel, okay, if you imagine you're seeing this on screen right now, a funnel is simply a way for us to squeeze opportunity out of potential customers. Okay, so it's 4 different stages. So the first step is creating interest. We're going to use paid advertising platforms to generate interest from prospects. Okay, so people that haven't heard about our client before, we're going to put ads in front of them, so an image or a video that grabs their attention, makes them think, what is this? And then we're going to generate leads. So we're going to convert those prospects into leads through some kind of a targeted offer. We might put an offer for laser hair removal. It might be like free treatments for the price of 1, for example. Some kind of direct offer that piques their interest, that makes them think, yes, I want to submit my details for that. So they fill in their name, email, maybe a couple of questions, and we generate a lead. Then what we're going to do is we're going to automate the process of booking leads direct with the client. So we're going to appointment set those leads. Okay? You can still do some manual appointment setting if you would like to, but you can use, or what I recommend you doing is using automation systems, AI automation systems, to book appointments with those leads, because this AI is going to contact the leads much quicker than you are as a human. And then once we've booked appointments, the service doesn't end there. We're going to install further systems for the client, so various AI systems to increase sales and streamline the day-to-day. Okay? These might be back-end AI sales agents, for example, that are reigniting all of their old leads, so it's calling through their lead database and then giving them a direct offer. It might be an AI appointment setting bot, which is doing the same thing, but via SMS or WhatsApp. It might be the case of implementing automations throughout the business on tools like Zapier, okay, maybe integrated with something like ChatGPT to streamline the day-to-day operations of the company. These systems are something that are going to be bespoke for every agency because it's going to come from the genuine understanding of your niche's wants and desires. Okay, so the systems will become more sophisticated as your agency starts working with an industry for a longer period of time and you get a deeper understanding. Now, as you could probably already guess, the more sophisticated these systems become, the harder it is for the clients to leave you, and therefore the higher your lifetime value, and also the more you stand out from the rest of your competition. And just as a side note, an agency as a business is not, it doesn't get a particularly high multiple if you ever want to sell the company in the future. If you're technology enabled, your multiples change exponentially. So it's in your best interest to be thinking about how you can implement bespoke AI systems for your clients. Okay? So I'm going to be coming back to that in a moment when we go onto the value ladder. But I want to run through what platforms you're going to use to actually generate interest. Typically speaking, for most agencies, you're going to be running ads on Meta. Meta is Facebook and Instagram, especially for local businesses. Businesses that are B2C, which is business to consumer. They are selling to everyday people. Okay, so Meta is really the main platform you're going to use. Then we also have Google Ads. So if you're working with B2B clients, Google Ads can be great, or high ticket or professional services, Google Ads can be great as well. So it's really your choice which of these avenues you go down. Some agencies will offer both of these depending on the niches they're working with. Some agencies will even offer YouTube as well, okay, or even TikTok. Now, broadly, I definitely don't recommend you offering all of these because you're going to get in a pickle. It's going to get really messy. I recommend picking one and then maybe branching out to another later down the line. YouTube is a really great video platform, of course. It's where you're watching this video right now. TikTok is an emerging platform still, and it can be a great advertising platform, especially, let's say, in the e-commerce space if you're working with online digital-based businesses. What platforms then can we use for automation? Well, we have Go High Level, and this is not limited to these. There are a number of different platforms that we can use. There are so many other platforms that we're testing as well and that we're implementing with our community and with our clients. But I don't want to overwhelm you with just this like crazy list right now. High Level is an all-in-one CRM system, okay? Client relationship management. This is where you're going to manage all of the leads. There are lots of default automations on High Level. There are also lots of AI integrations on High Level as far as AI calling and appointment setting is concerned. We then do also have more sophisticated systems like AppointWise, which is an automated DM appointment setting bot. So again, this is going to reach out to all of the leads that come from your Meta ads, your Google ads, onto High Level. It's going to reach out to those and book in appointments. And then we also have AI sales agents on the back end, which are phone-based sales systems to actually get in touch. But as a base level service, if you're watching this right now and you want to get started, you want to start offering a service, I would recommend to you Meta ads as far as local business is concerned. Plug it into something like Go High Level. I'll put links in the description for these. Okay, not something like, plug it into High Level. And then you can either use High Level's appointment setting systems, or if you want to really turbocharge it, get AppointWise on there as well. Okay, that's like a baseline service. And really, as you start doing this, your world will just completely open up to all these other opportunities. But I want to give you the baseline today so you can actually implement this. I'll let you know how you can learn these more advanced strategies a little bit later on in the video. So let's go through the value pyramid. Now, this value pyramid is a weapon that we can use to maximize on the amount of money we make for our clients when we generate them leads. And the first step is free value, okay? And this isn't necessarily a stage that we're going to get involved in ourselves. We can certainly consult the client, but this is going to be like blog posts, newsletters, organic social posts, creating entertainment, giving them value. It's really relationship building is what this is, with people that haven't yet bought from the client. So this is pre-purchase relationship building, free value. Now the next step down this value ladder is really where we're going to come into play. This is going to be our first offer that we put in front of the prospect. And that might be something like teeth cleaning, okay? If we're doing this for a dentist. Teeth cleaning being a very low friction, under $100, first time appointment, get your foot in the door, let's have a look at your teeth. What happens when you get your teeth cleaned? Well, you can identify problems, okay? So now what we might want to do is retarget, or we can do this through appointment setting, or we can do this through email flows. We can do this a number of different ways, but we want to hit the client with another offer, and that might be teeth whitening, okay? And even the prospect can do this. The client can do this when they've done the cleaning themselves. They can upsell into teeth whitening. Okay, so teeth cleaning might be, let's say that's $100. Teeth whitening is probably more likely going to be like $300. So now we've made $400 from the prospect, and now at this point we might want to say Invisalign. If you don't know what Invisalign is, by the way, it's like just invisible braces. And it can cost up to $5,000. So now we've made $5,400 on behalf of this client. So now what we're looking at is, I mean, we can upsell, we can do implants and so on. There are many other things we can do. Implants will be like 20k in some cases. We might do veneers. There are lots of different things we can do. But all we're really trying to do here is look at like maximizing LTV, okay? That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to maximize on the amount of money we can make over the lifetime of this client. Because here we've made 5,300. We might be able to get 10k, 20k, and over time we want to track this on behalf of the client. So we know when we generate them a lead, exactly how much that lead is worth to the client. In fact, if we reverse engineer it all the way, we understand how many appointments actually turn into people that turn up to free teeth cleaning, then we know exactly how much value we can put on one lead, okay? It might cost us only $10 to get a lead on behalf of the client, but we might establish that when we reverse engineer all the data over a period of time, that $10 lead is actually worth like $600 because of, statistically, based on the data over time, with the LTV and conversion rates considered, that's how much they're worth. But only when we track this and we have a deep understanding of the value ladder and we actually implement this on behalf of our clients. We're not just taking that first purchase and forgetting about it. And that's where these AI systems come in. When we start to really think about the overall marketing strategy on behalf of our clients, not just getting them more leads or more appointments in, but thinking about how this affects the business on a larger scale and how we can increase the lifetime value. The higher the lifetime value on behalf of that the client actually experiences, the more they will spend on ads, the happier they will be, the longer they will stay with you. And many marketers forget about this. Many marketers just focus on the first purchase. And very rarely does a business celebrate about first purchase. It's much more often about lifetime value. So this is the value ladder. This is the essence and the core of any great marketer. If we're generating leads on behalf of a client, we want to be looking at how much money we're making over the lifetime, not just the front end. And if we get a deep understanding of this from day one, we're going to be having very happy clients to stay with us for a very long time. And this is the core of an AI lead gen service. Okay, no matter like what systems we build, no matter what automations, no matter how much we streamline, if we don't understand the core principle of the value ladder and increasing lifetime value, then we'll struggle to keep clients for a lengthy time. Okay, and this gets easier and easier and easier when we work with specific niches over time as well. And don't worry if this is intimidating you. I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible for you. This stuff I had no understanding of, and the majority of people I've taught, in fact, I would say 90% of the people I taught had no understanding of any of this stuff before they get started. Okay, we all have to start somewhere, and you'll be surprised how quickly you will learn when you actually start signing up clients. So what are some of the future trends for 2025? A lot of this stuff already exists, but I want to bring it to your attention because it's going to get a hell of a lot more sophisticated very, very quickly. Generative AI being the ability to generate images, videos, text and so on, things that we can already do, but it's going to get much more sophisticated. Soon entire ads will be generated automatically and we won't, as marketers, have to really think about it at all. We'll just need to be thinking about the prompt, and so we need to be on that. AI sales agents, again, we can already do this through AI automation, through chatbots, and we can do this through phone calling systems. The phone calling systems at the time of recording this are getting pretty good, but they're not as sophisticated as they will be. They're certainly not mass outbound yet. By the time some of you watch this, it already will be. This industry is just going to move incredibly quickly, so we need to stay on top of it, and I'll be talking about this when we do. AI employees, not just chatbots that are fed with information, but actually being able to fully implement tasks on a computer. Okay, so basically being able to click around, access desktop softwares and so on and really do what employees are already doing in their business, there'll be so much opportunity to implement this on behalf of your clients when you've got a deep understanding of who they are and what they do and what their needs are. And this is just going to be just game changing for agency owners. And then finally, I've added on here a little fun one that I'm personally really excited for is extended reality, which is XR. We've all seen Apple Vision Pro, which is kind of a mix between VR and AR, augmented reality. That's what XR is. And this technology is going to be more globally used and just more widely adopted over time. We'll probably estimate about 2 years before we start seeing like actual normal glasses that we can use. When that happens, there's going to be advertising everywhere. It's going to be a gold rush for agency owners. So I always wanted to keep this front of mind. I'm looking forward to playing around with that myself. So your options right now are pretty simple. You've already got to this point in the video, and for that I say well done. Many people have probably already dropped off, but not you. You're here for a reason. You've probably got lots of notes and you're ready to actually get started on this. And I hope at the very least you're going to take action on what you have learned today. But what you take action on is a decision you've got to make. You have to decide whether or not you want to go at this alone, by yourself. But as we've established, this industry is going to increase at a rate of 40% every year. I will always put out a weekly YouTube video and endeavour to give more away for free than other people have you paid for. I do talk about a variety of different topics, so it's going to be hard for me to keep you up to date with every single change that is happening in this industry at every level. And of course, I run one of the largest education industries in the agency space and have done for 7 years. And that is where the pioneers of the AI lead generation space will be. That is where I will be every single day, helping this industry, driving this industry forward and all of the agencies within it. And so if you want the true unfair advantage, if you want to skip the stairs and go to the elevator, if you want to stay ahead and you want to be an early adopter and a winner in the AI lead generation space, then I'd like to invite you to partner with us and join our mentorship program, Agency Launch. Inside of Agency Launch, we will work with you one-to-one every week to help you lay your foundations, find and sign ideal clients, deliver an incredible service to them, not just what is working right now, but as and when the service develops and evolves, you'll be the first to know and you can implement it, and you'll get the support as and when you need it. Now, we'll also give you access to a full A to Z training course, so you will learn every single molecular detail of building and scaling a successful agency. And this is not just a course created once and never updated. This is a brand new program, but it's updated every single month by our product team. It's an evergreen program in the way that it's been built, so you'll always be in the know in the latest that is working. You get access to our plug and play resources library. Okay, these are years and years worth of resources, SOPs and worksheets that you can plug in straight to your agency, all AI enabled. You get daily group coaching calls, so you can jump on daily live group coaching calls with other agency owners who are asking questions. You can have your questions asked as well and just get involved with other people on the same path as you. You get access to the private community with all other agency owners at all different stages of growth. You can make new friends. Entrepreneurship is incredibly lonely, and not many people talk about that. And being part of a community of other people on the same path with you to help drive you forward and to sharing their wins every single day. We have students that are sharing Ring the Bells, which are them signing new clients. And you can just absorb that motivation that will drive you forward. And then you get access to our Agency Matrix software. This is an AI data tracking software that we own exclusively. We built this ourselves for our own agency, and it'll help you track every single number in your agency and gain crystal clear clarity on everything that you should be working on a daily basis. This will propel you forward, and this is just an unfair advantage versus anybody else who does not have this level of clarity. He's just trying to figure things out on messy databases and Google Sheets. The Matrix is something else. So what makes us different? What sets us apart from everybody else if you've never watched our content before? We've been educating agency owners for 8 years now in our education programs. I don't know many educators that have been around for as long as we have, and our training programs are CPD certified. CPD is the global standard for high quality education. It's a service that universities use to ensure that their training's of the highest standard. I don't know another agency educator in the world that has their programs CPD certified, because you have to create your programs in a very specific way to ensure that they can be absorbed properly by the audience. We are real agency owners, first and foremost. I owned an agency and still own that agency to this day. I was an agency owner before I was an educator. And all of our coaches have either been agency owners or are agency owners currently, so you'll always be getting qualified advice from people that have been there and done it, not in the trenches. We've had over 4,500 happy customers. We've got over 500 Trustpilot reviews. You can go and check us out. And you can also check out our success score, which I'll come on to in a moment. We have hundreds upon hundreds of success stories and testimonials that you'll find, and you'll really struggle to find any bad words about us on the internet, because the truth be told, we get results. And the reason why we get results is because we genuinely care about everybody that we work with. Like, I take the success of every single person that we work with so seriously and so personally, because I know what it was like to be in that position myself, desperate to succeed. And we are the vehicle to help people succeed in this space. We host an Affluent Awards evening. We recognise our community for consistently generating exceptional client results. We host this every single year. There's a couple of photos of various people winning Affluent Awards and generating great results for their clients. These are just amazing. We've got another one coming up in April 2025, which I cannot wait for. We've helped people like Asher go from 0 to 10k a month in 6 months. He quit his 9-to-5 job. These are interviews that are available on YouTube. You can check them out. Nicholas went from 0 to 21k a month in just 6 months. He quit his 9-to-5 job. Aidan went from 0 to 10k a month in 6 months. He made 7k in a single day. Winston went from 0 to 6k a month in just 3 months, and he escaped his sales job. Jamie signed 6 clients in just 30 days and quit a job in a bar. And again, you can check out our success score. I'll see if I can throw it up on screen right now. We have tens, if not hundreds upon hundreds of testimonials, and the list just goes on and on and on. In fact, that website keeps crashing because we can't find a system that can upload enough videos that will allow it to actually work on most devices. So if it crashes for you, I apologize. It's because there are too many testimonials uploaded. So look, if you want to work with us, then I'm going to put a link in the description. You can click that link and you can book a call with a member of our team. This is a very casual call, no pressure whatsoever. We're just going to learn a bit about yourself. We'll then outline the roadmap to actually succeeding. And then, of course, if we're both a good fit for each other, we'll invite you to join the program and you can get started right away. We also do have a guarantee. So if you join us within 6 months, we guarantee that you'll sign at least 10 new clients, or you don't pay at all. You get a full refund. And we'll work with you for free until you do, because we care about you getting results first and foremost. That is the most important thing to us, that every single member that joins, who puts in the work, gets results. Now, I will add, this isn't a small investment. So if you're watching this right now, you don't have capital to invest, that is fine. Don't be hard on yourself. Implement what you've learned. Truly, go ahead and implement everything you've learned today. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Turn your notification bell on. Absorb the rest of our content. Keep on top of it and actually implement it. Don't be the kind of person that just watches a video like this and lets an opportunity slip by. What I said to you at the start of this video wasn't just scarcity or a hook. This is about to be the most in-demand service in the world. Business owners need to do this, and we're about to see a huge power imbalance come for local and online business who don't adopt AI lead generation services. This is your opportunity. Make the most of it. I'll see you soon. Cheers.